Students have been making national headlines protesting controversial speakers on campuses across the country. That is at James Madison University in Virginia. Just on Wednesday, students were demonstrating against a conservative speaker who they accused of spreading hateful anti-transgender messages. This month alone, we've seen protests like this from coast to coast, protests that have led to a debate over the state of free speech on college campuses.
CNN's Ellie Reeve caught up with some students and educators at the University of Pittsburgh after they protested an event featuring a right-wing commentator.
That's conservative podcaster Michael Knowles being burned in effigy at the University of Pittsburgh last week. Knowles is most famous for this one line in his speech at CPAC this year.
Transgenderism must be eradicated from public life entirely.
And he was brought to Pitt by a conservative group to debate whether the government should regulate what the group calls transgenderism. But he was met by rowdy protests outside. Such student protests have sparked a bigger debate about whether kids these days no longer have the appetite to debate controversial issues on campus.
Is free speech dead on campus?
No. Obviously, he is speaking right now. We are not shutting him down. We don't want him to speak. Hopefully we can drown him out. We are right now enacting our right to free speech just the way that he is.
You can't debate intolerance. If someone wants to inflict harm on you, are you going to debate them inflicting harm on you? No.
Thank you very much. It's very kind of you.
Trans rights for human rights! Trans rights for human rights!
There they are. I didn't know. All right.
As the debate started, some protesters were removed. Speakers who oppose trans rights have sparked protests nationwide at universities in Iowa, Utah, and New York just in April. Last month, Stanford law students heckled a federal judge about his record on trans rights. The law school's dean scolded the students in a public letter, but declined CNN's request for an interview.
Do you think kids are less able to take or listen to opposing views now?
No, I don't think they're less able to listen to opposing views. I just think they take less crap as they get older and realize that hate speech is hate speech and free speech.
Dude, this is literally reigniting. Oh my God, I'm getting flashbacks, dude. This is giving me fucking PTSD. I'm losing my fucking mind. It's the same bullshit. College campuses don't have free speech. It's like, no, dog, you're talking about intentional provocateurs that are going to college campuses where there are trans students and being like, hey, we should kill trans people. That's like insane. That's an insane fucking thing to say. And like, it wouldn't happen for speakers that want to say that about Jewish people. It wouldn't happen for speakers that want to say that openly in such terms about black people, right? Except it will. It will. It's going to happen over and over again because as boundaries are crossed like this, as this kind of shit is normalized, we're going to get back to those like, you know, Richard Spencer style speakers propping up left and right. Okay? These guys also aren't like lecturers. They're not regular people. They're paid. They're paid provocateurs. They're getting paid a lot of money to say this kind of thing, and it's not a fucking debate at all. I completely disagree with you. Well, you can suck my left nut. I've been doing this for a lot longer than you have. I've actually duked it out with these motherfuckers in the real world, including the guy that they're covering right now, who I've absolutely fucking eviscerated at a Fox subsidiary where I had a debate with him. I have no issue debating these motherfuckers, okay? I don't. But I also understand that this is not about fucking free speech at all. It's not. It's just about like trying to make the lives of students worse. It's true. We've done this so many times. Also, the fucking media is so dog shit for like highlighting the narrative in the way that they are doing.
Speech is free speech, and I do believe the two things are very different from each other.
These speakers are often brought to campus by outside conservative groups, such as the Intercollegiate Studies Institute and the Young America's Foundation. Then the university has to figure out how to deal with the backlash. Afterward, those groups sometimes post videos of the event in which students are humiliated.
It's not a coincidence, right, that these events keep unfolding the way that they do. It's a deliberate strategy on the part of these organizations to try to find a controversial speaker try to provoke the liberal students into having a reaction and making sure all of that gets filmed and edited in a certain way that makes those students look as bad as possible.
Yeah.
ISI's president told CNN that it has no institutional strategy to provoke backlash, but it picks speakers who are substantial and provocative. YAF said it brings speakers who engage in healthy exchange of ideas with students with opposing.
Like, if you think that this is a healthy exchange of ideas, you're out of your fucking mind. Like, oh, yeah, I love having a healthy exchange of ideas where I bring in, like, a rabid anti-Semite and have them fucking have, like, a bunch of, you know, young college freshman Jewish students have to, like, defend their existence against a rabid anti-Semite that, like, is using clever rhetoric to mask the ultimate idea that they have, which is to exterminate all Jews. Notice how that is an unhinged discussion that would not take place on a fucking college campus. Okay? Because everybody kind of understands, like, okay, well, that's some Nazi shit. Not too great. Even though that has happened on campus before, too. Because the more these fucking unhinged losers get, the more these unhinged losers feel galvanized, the more they'll push the boundaries. Always. There is no healthy exchange between a fucking person who's like, I'm just going to say some shit that's like, lightly advocating to eradicate you from public life. Where is the healthy exchange? What is healthy about that exchange? Please explain that to me. I don't get it. Like, what? It's just a difference in opinion. Yeah, well, your opinion fucking sucks. And it's also inherently violent and provides zero educational value.
Views.
I think we do need to step back and say, what do we want out of this conversation? There needs to be some kind of reason to put it in front of people. And I think very often what gets skipped in these invitations is, in place of value, you get controversy.
More than 11,000 people signed an online petition against Knowles and 2 other conservative speakers invited to Pitt. The school went forward with the event.
Who's invited speakers to campus? Young Americans for Freedom, a litany of, like, young Republican institutions that get funding from billionaires, and they get funding from their wealthy alumni that want these guys to come in. They usually have a pretty solid speaker budget too. And the alumni will literally double the speaker fees. So, like, they're not, these fucking dickheads aren't even just, like, going to these schools out of the kindness of their heart because they truly care about, like, good debate, spirited debate. They're actually fucking going to these college campuses because they're getting paid like $50K to $100K. Okay?
Saying it upholds the principles of protected speech and expression, though that speech can contradict the school's values. Knowles had been scheduled to debate Professor Deidre McCloskey, who's trans. But McCloskey pulled out the week before, telling CNN that Knowles was not a serious person. Then ISI, the sponsor, offered trans writer Charlotte Clymer $10,000 to sub in. She said no.
$10,000 is a lot.
I think, like, my controversial opinion is that, like, I don't think trans people should be forced to fucking do these things. And I don't think trans people should do these things. You should have, like, a cis person defend these things. You know what I mean? Fuck it. Why not? Because the other side is not impacted emotionally from the eradication narrative if they are also cis. That's the unfortunate reality. Not saying that trans people are not capable of doing such things or capable of, like, defending their existence. I'm sure they do it every fucking day. But, like, no matter what happens, debate in the way that, like, a lot of these fucking dipshits understand it is only going to be a productive one, or one where your side is, like, ostensibly winning if they are not emotional at all. And the only way to make sure that there is no emotional, there's no emotional consequence is if you don't personally feel under attack by the rhetoric. Black people debating their existence against white supremacists is always going to invoke understandable and oftentimes desired from the right side, anger. These people, you a joke, mate? Nice, mate. Fucking Turf Island, lad. These people, this gender. You a fucking joke, mate. You fucking joking. Don't worry, I said people. It doesn't mean you, dickhead. Why do conservatives think emotions matter in a debate? It's not like anger or frustration is diminishing the points that one is making. What do you mean? That's the whole purpose of debates is rhetoric. Rhetoric. Debates are not about the truth. Debates are never about the truth. It's about which side is able to overpower the other side, okay? It's not about good talk. It's about talking points, knowing them, and being able to carefully deconstruct bullshit narratives. But it's never really about like, the Socratic principles or anything like that. It's just like a dumb lie that has been told to you by like other, debate bros and people who do it for funsies or for their, for their career. And I say this as someone who has debated a lot.
Yeah. $10,000 is a lot of money. That would have paid off my car. That's half.
What is this? Okay, so like what do plenty of cis celebs like everyone likes come out and support a trans rights? Who needs to say it and how? I think the number one thing that school should do is just like, hey man, if you're fucking putting our students at harm, we care about our fucking trans students. If you're gonna come in here and be like, trans people should not exist, we need to eradicate transgenderism, okay? Then yeah, we're not allowing you. Like, I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck. That's insane. Come with like actual, come with like some real shit. You know what I mean? When would the debate video come out? The debate video. It come out already, my friend. The debate video come out already many times over. I do debate all the time back in the day. Debate video, not new. Debate video, very old.
A year of rent.
Have you ever been offered that much?
No, not even close.
What does that sum say to you?
It says they're willing to pay anything to grow their entertainment enterprise. I don't know why trans folks are expected to accept the premise that our humanity is up for debate. If it were a debate on whether or not to allow racial segregation back into society, we wouldn't have a debate about that. That would be unacceptable.
Finally,
you know what? I actually will say this, okay? I think that that's an unacceptable thing to debate about. But because of the boundaries on the legislative side, racial segregation is in many respects discussed when it's in the criminal justice system, like debates that pertain to the criminal justice system. What are you doing? No, be normal, be chill, please. And Chatters, Hasan's opinions on debates have not changed, for your information. Yes. But hey, dude, listen, guys.
This community know your position. If you keep getting stuck on it so much, it shows that you seem triggered, therefore losing in the marketplace of ideas, which, by the way, is also indicative that, like, most people's understanding of debates are fucking idiotic. Further evidence that debates are not good for arriving at the truth and just simply about overwhelming your opponent rhetorically.
How do you change someone's perspective on something like trans existence without challenging their ideas? I think that kind of stuff can happen. And that kind of stuff should happen. Normal and understandable conversations that are happening in a classroom are entirely different than having a professional transphobic person come in and just like spit out perfectly crafted anti-trans talking points at your college campus while exhausting the resources of said college campus, while also simultaneously putting trans students in harm's way. That is two entirely different things, okay? Leave the professional commentary. I mean, the Jeshlat one, I don't know. What do you ask me? Why don't you ask Jeshlat about the bat? Jeshlat the bat. Ask Jeshlat. I don't know. Tag me more, though. Tag me more. You're not tagging me enough. HasanAbi. What about the bat? The Badger Schlatt. Ah. What the fuck does Schlatt even disagree with you on, Lamau? I debated Jay Schlatt. I debated capitalism, and he debated for socialism. I have a theory about you. I think you would destroy every right-wing debate, pervert, and lie debate because people like Shapiro, Knowles, Owens, Crowder are too used to scripted content and recorded content. You are actively answering gray names on chat every day. For years, you are a debate machine, and you do not realize it. Well, the talking points that like people use in the chat are identical to the talking points that Ben Shapiro uses because the gray names in the chat learned from Ben Shapiro. All right, let's finish that.
Gay libertarian podcaster Brad Palumbo agreed to debate Knowles.
Mr. Palumbo, it's awesome that you could come here on such short notice. How much did they pay you to do it?
A lot.
Knowles, through a spokeswoman, declined an interview with CNN. And despite its emphasis on free speech, ISI demanded media not film more than the debate's opening remarks.
Huh. Interesting. I wonder why. Oh, possibly because they want to fucking control what gets out, what gets like, released from the conversation. They want to control every aspect of this production because that's all this is. It's a media thing, okay? If a Hollywood company came to your college campus and was like, we're going to make your students perform jackass style fucking pranks on one another, the college campus would be like, no. Like, that's crazy. You know, we're just going to like come and, own your trans students openly. But it's okay when Michael Knowles does it because the college campuses have Young Americans for Freedom foundations and they want him to come. It's so stupid.
Marks. But once the event got going, no one ushered the media out.
Michael Knowles is a big speaker. He should be able to speak and have freedom of speech. And sadly, that's kind of being shut down in modern society, as we can see outside.
But would you have a panel where someone spoke about whether or not there should be legal murder?
No. Because...
Oh, wow. Wait, why not? Wait, first of all, that is literally something that people talk about. Voluntary euthanasia, active euthanasia, passive euthanasia is like pretty basic concepts that you do debate on in college campuses. But of course, the typical young conservative's like, no, that's unacceptable. You fucking asshole. Shut the fuck up. You don't even know what you're fucking advocating for. God, I hate these motherfuckers so much. It just like riles me up. Yeah, we can't debate capital punishment either, by the way. What's up with capital punishment? That's legal murder. You're totally on board with that, probably. That's what your fucking dumbass outfit tells me. Look at this ugly ass fucking shirt. Oh my God.
It's because murder is objectively wrong and you're killing someone, but I would not put that on the same scale. As I said about shutting down free speech, I think that...
Yo, that's so funny. He had to fucking fear it. Look, Gen Z is still Gen Z. He's still scared shitless of gun violence. You know what I mean? He's like, yeah, it's actually... Bro literally thought a school shooting was happening, okay? Still Gen Z. Loves guns, but, recognizes that a school is, still a terrifying place.
This is a very good example of the fact that clearly something's going on here.
That boom was an incendiary device set off outside the building, according to a university statement. No one was injured, but some buildings were temporarily shut down.
Do you think the point of this debate is to try...
I hate that, by the way. Like, that kind of stuff is fucking annoying, for the record. Like, I'm not gonna lie. If it were left up to me in a perfect world, I would only have like the most annoying debate perverts, like the most autistic people show up to these events, line up in single file and just, have the perfect talking points ready to go and only let them loose on the fucking likes of Michael Knowles. Okay. And then not even do another peep outside of that. And then on top of that, I would first send in the wave, okay? The wave, there would be like multiple wave attacks, okay? You put the most neurodivergent debate perverts up front. They do the talking points and they wear you down, okay? And then I would bring in like the Chad jocks to be like, dog, Why are you even discussing this? You're such a fucking lame ass. You get no pussy. You're such a bitch. And then that way they would also feel ritualistically humiliated. Okay? And then that's it. That's it. Send in the neurodivergence in the first rank. Have all of that debate fancy exhausted out of them. And then bring in the fucking jocks to be like, dog, you're fucking lame, okay? My sister's trans. Like, I don't give a fuck about trans people existing. You're a bitch, dog. I'd fucking bully you. Come over here. I'll fucking, give you a wedgie, idiot. And I'd have 0 people outside fucking complaining about Michael Knowles being there. But of course, I can't tell college freshmen on campuses to do whatever the fuck they want to do. I could barely get them to subscribe at the top of the fucking hour. Okay? They want, because ultimately they do want people to complain. They love the attention, and it's awesome for them. It gives them an opportunity for CNN to fucking cut this kind of commentary, to be like, is free speech under attack on college campuses? Like, you haven't done this song and dance already. Please stop sending strays at autistic people. Wait, what? That's a huge insult to autistic people. What the fuck? Wait, no, I'm saying like there is... No, you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. Please. Some autistic people hear the word autistic and immediately go, oh, this must be negative. Like you're mentioning autistic people in a negative capacity. That's not what I'm talking about, dude. Okay? Shut the fuck up. You're literally doing what I'm actually celebrating you doing right now. Do that to Michael Knowles instead. Okay? Do that to Michael Knowles. Don't do it to me. Do it to him. Go up to him and like parse through every fucking pedantic argument that you can have with him instead. Okay? That's what I'm saying. Use your powers for good. Okay? Activate it on Michael Knowles, not here at the HasanAbi broadcast. You just did it to me. Do it to him. Anyway, at the top of the hour, there is a 3-minute ad break, like I mentioned already. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, which you can do for $5 or for free with Twitch Prime. You can use it on your favorite broadcaster. Hopefully that's me when Pokemon hurt themselves with confusion. Yeah. Anyway, as I was stating, in the perfect universe, the way to receive these dumb motherfuckers like Michael Knowles on college campuses would be obviously not at all. But if they are going to come regardless, then it would be not to do like a massive like fuck you type protest against them, and instead send in the most active debate perverts you have on campus, like mercenaries. You know what I mean? People that normally don't even give a fuck about trans rights, but just love debating for the sake of debating. Just send them in there and just fucking eviscerate Michael Knowles over and over again. And then after that, bring in the fucking cavalry, the fucking Chads, the Stacys, and the jocks to just be like, dude, you suck, you're lame, and then embarrass them even further and not even do a big peep about it. Like, not even do a big stink about it. Like, oh, I can't believe these guys are here. And then cut the content and cut the footage and show it all over the internet and plaster it all over the internet. That is what would happen. Why does this sound like a total war strat? Because it is. Because it's the most effective.
Try to convince people in this room or to convince people on the internet?
I think it's both. I mean, the goal of the event is not to make some uneducated leftist kid, feel like an idiot. So I hope there's leftist people here that ask questions.
Yeah, yes, it is. That's exactly what it is, you dumb bitch. It's so that you feel intellectually superior because the person on your side who is like a trained media professional can like bully someone who they have not only rhetorical power over, but also like literally logistically speaking, the format is the speaker on the podium dunking on a fucking hysterical college freshman.
Opposing Knowles and are able to do so respectfully.
So the protesters burned Michael Knowles in effigy, which is protected speech.
It is. I wouldn't do that, though.
Why not?
It's too violent. It's too aggressive. In fact, it's counterproductive because what they do is they take an image of that, they spread it online, and they say, see, This is what the movement is trying to do. They are going to burn anyone in effigy who disagrees with them.
She says this generation is different, but not because it's more fragile.
As millennials, you and me, I think that we were taught to stand up for what we believe in, but we were also taught that there is a certain amount of abuse that we need to take in order to push the ball forward. And Gen Z, for them, they refuse to accept premises that are dehumanizing.
Why do these debates over rights for minority groups always get converted into debates over free speech?
When someone backs you into a corner and says, I don't like your ideas, the easiest thing for you to say is, oh, well, that's because you don't like my free speech. It's because you want to censor me. And it's really the coward's way of trying to deal with any argument. Your answer should be, here's why my ideas are interesting and why they're important, not invoking some kind of quasi-constitutional gloss for what you have to say.
And Ellery is here to talk more about this. What is the kind of industry of speakers that is taking advantage of this?
Yeah, I think it's important to notice that it's not like capital gains tax that is sparking these protests. It's not some scientist with a theory about black holes, right? It's trans rights this year. 5 years ago, it was white supremacy. And so, of course, those issues provoke an emotional reaction because they affect someone very personally. And what the students are trying to say is, like, that's over the line. That's not just a political debate. I am not a thing to be debated.
Well, thanks so much for this. It was a lovely report.